Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello and welcome to session 16 of Human Resource Management course. Students, you are now budding human resource managers. You're almost halfway through of your course of HRM, where you have dealt with many important aspects which any HR manager must know about, especially in today's turbulent environment. Now let us talk something about which is interesting for you in person as employees of and is equally important for you to know as a manager because it deals with the employees. The topic for today's session is Dr. Shikha and Khera from School of Management, Delhi Technological University. Certain career anchors, students. What are career anchors? We can have technical competence, managerial competence, any specific skill or creative orientation. They become the anchors, because of which we start pursuing our career or occupation for tomorrow. When we are children or when we are at a younger age, we try to identify these acumen or skills ourselves so that we can find the right path for us. But what happens when we join an organization? All these career anchors are transformed into our job roles. And then the time starts that the organization has to think over and take care of our career planning. How we would be raised up in the ladder in organization, what positions will be held by us, how much timeline will that be taking, whether it is going to be more of merit-based or time-based promotions, how the career enhancement or planning can be a big motivating tool for all of us to remain in organization. We have discussed about concepts like employee engagement and talent management. Career planning plays an essential role in both the employee engagement and talent management, along with achieving greater heights in organizational development. So let us dash into the job and try to understand the nuances of career planning as a curriculum or as a topic. So what is career overall is the holds throughout the life. So you can have an occupational position of an administrative staff or an operative staff or a skilled creative person. So all these become the positions or experiences that you hold throughout your life. So it is a long-term span of multiple jobs and roles that you carry out, not limited to only one organization, but it may include different employers, industries, or different professions altogether. You may start as an accountant and maybe you land up as finally a vice president sales of an organization. So it all depends on how twists and turns takes place during the career path. It reflects the progression of the work life in general for any individual. So the new career landscape in today's time has some current contemporary models. But before we go on for the contemporary models, let us discuss a bit about the earlier models which were there in the organizational practices. So the first one is the traditional career, where employee used to join an organization and often stayed for life. That is, he got retired from the same organization only. If you look into the career path of your grandparents, probably you will see that this was the career path where they joined an organization, served the organization for good 25, 30, 35 years and they got retired from there only. Now here in the traditional career, promotions were very steady and predictable and based on seniority. As I just mentioned, whether the promotion in the career is going to be on the basis of merit or on the basis of seniority, that depends on organizational practices. But earlier in organizations, the major practice was based on seniority. That is, promotions were time bound. Every 5 years you get next grade. And even in government organizations today, majority of promotions are based on seniority and time-bound manner only. So long-term job security and loyalty were the features of the job at that time which were highly valued by the employees themselves. Now, what shift has taken place in the modern time? If you see curriculum vitae of your immediate seniors or maybe some elder ones in the family, you will realize that they have good job hopping. Now, what is job hopping? Job hopping is the fundamental scenario where a person leaves a job or number of jobs that he caters to in his work-life span. Nowadays, earlier it was 1 to 2 jobs, then it became 4 to 5 jobs in a career. In today's time, an average individual hops for 10 to 12 times in different organizations. So thus stability is a big question mark, and thus it is a threat to talent retention in the organization. So in this modern turbulent time, then it becomes very much important that we take care of the career planning in a right manner, and we give those opportunities of promotion to employees so that they stay with us and do not change the job very frequently. So globalization, mergers and outsourcing, downsizing disrupted the traditional model. What was the traditional model? This one. Technology continuously reshaped the job roles, requiring employees to learn some new skills which we have talked about in competency mapping, and organizations no longer guarantee the lifetime employment to the employee. They are in a fast-paced, turbulent business environment. Employees have to upgrade and upskill themselves on a regular basis. Otherwise, the organization retrenches them very frequently. Then the current contemporary career model are very fluid and mobile. As I told you, job hopping is very much common and inevitable. Multiple employers and multiple industries is the today's scenario. Success depends on employability skills like adaptability, flexibility and different skills, not just tenure. So employees must reskill and upskill themselves continuously. Also in today's time, the focus is on work-life balance. So career success is no longer just for promotion or salary. Employee does value the flexibility, well-being and personal fulfillment because this is what he is working for. And work-life balance has become a central factor in career decisions. That is why employees are more concerned about their career planning in today's time than the employers are. And employee very cautiously chooses the organization when he joins. He looks for the opportunity that if I stay in this organization for 5 years down the line, where would I be posted? Whether will I get any promotion or not? Before, if they are not convinced about that any kind of progression is seen in their career, they quit the job or they do not take the offer itself. Further, the changing nature of careers from the traditional to modern time is, in the traditional path was predictable upward and linear progression, long-term promotion based on seniority. Now it is non-linear, flexible and often cross-organizational. So people swiftly change their domain areas also in today's time. Employees may change industry or roles multiple times, and success is measured by skills, adaptability and employability. Downsizing, mergers and market changes are something very inevitable and major phenomena taking place. Thus, organizations are restructuring themselves. So when we talk about they are restructuring, they have reduced the hierarchical ladders. So if, for example, this is the organizational, the organizations in today's time are restructuring it, and they are probably removing 1 or 2 levels itself from their organization structure. So earlier, if they were having 7 levels, now they may have reduced to 4 levels only. So fewer long-term lifetime jobs available. There are no jobs available which can be catered to for lifetime. One of the bigger reasons for such shift is that the job role itself is changing. With intervention of technology coming in, it's not for sure that today what job I am doing and the way I am doing will remain the same way after 10 years. So either I have to upskill myself, or the new job which is being created will have some other dimensions which need to be upgraded. So employees often fear career disruptions, that is, they must reinvent themselves. So this reinvention is a challenge for employee every now and then. Earlier it used to be you have done 1 degree and that degree is sufficient for you for years and decades. You carry on the same information and knowledge. but with new researches and innovations which are being done in current times, the skills required, the behavior, the competency, the knowledge required for a particular job or way of doing job is changing in such a manner that every individual has to reinvent themselves. Growth now comes from horizontal moves, from project-based works and skill upgrades, not only vertical promotions. So these are the important aspects for today's individual if you want to have good career planning for themselves. So adaptability and reinvention are the new terms. Employee has to continuously learn and upgrade the skills. They have to be open in lateral moves, career shifts, and even portfolio careers also, and treat career as a personal responsibility rather than the responsibility of employer. So employer-driven paths are no more focused upon. Individual plan their career of their own. So thus career planning becomes a lifelong process instead of a one-time activity by any individual. So what are the work-life balance challenges that employees are increasingly finding difficult to handle? It includes that flexible working hours, remote and hybrid work options, and supportive policies like childcare, parental leave, or elder care. Employees are looking forward for jobs or roles which offer them these benefits. And thus, what employees are doing, they are taking the career decisions which are influenced by the factors like these. And thus, they are giving importance to the personal life priorities. The next challenge that the employee faces is the dual career family issues. So when the couple is working, then this scenario definitely crops up. It becomes very difficult for them to manage their personal or interpersonal relationship and manage their household tasks as well. So with more households having two working partners, career planning must be in a manner which is relocating decisions, childcare, and role sharing. Also, organizations often provide dual career support programs for transfers and promotions. Especially this is one of the features in the government setup where the couple can have transfer at a common place. So this is a part of career management. Balancing family and professional growth is central to modern career strategies. Now, let's talk something about what all phases an employee goes through when he is going for career planning. So the major phases he or she goes through is called as the career path. During the career path, the number of positions that the employee holds in different setups or different industries reflect on the progression that he has taken place throughout his occupation or his career. So it is also called as the sequence of jobs that he has held during his career. So a career path is the sequence of job and experiences an individual takes to reach higher level of responsibility and achieve the career goals. The main features of career path includes the lateral moves, promotions, and developmental assignments that they take. It can be vertical growth in the hierarchy like this, from AGM to GM to AVP to vice president, etc. So this is the vertical growth in the hierarchy, or modern lateral moves, project-based and boundary-less. So in lateral moves, you may shift from one functional area to the other functional area, or you may become a part of a cross-functional team. So career path provides employees with a roadmap of how they can progress within the organization, and this roadmap determines whether the employee will be retained in the organization or not, whether he will be interested to remain in the job or not. Then the next concept in career planning is career goal. So what is a career goal? It is the specific targeted role or achievement of an individual who aspires to reach in their career. The features of career goal include that it can be short-term career goal, say 1 to 3 years, or long-term career goal, that is 5 to 10 years. So anyone can have a short-term career goal that from HR executive, I want to reach to the position of HR generalist, or maybe a long-term career goal that from HR executive, I want to be assistant manager HR. So that depends on an individual's personal goals and personal aspirations. But what is suggestive here is that these career goals must be realistic and achievable. Often we define using SMART criteria for identifying the career goals. What is a SMART criteria? SMART criteria says it should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So that makes it SMART, SMART criteria. So if you plan career goal for yourself, please look into this SMART criteria so that you do not go haywire and you are not frustrated also during your career path or during the achievement of your career goal. This career goal serves as a motivating factor for self-development, and it also prompts an individual to put in efforts. Because if you do not have a specific goal for yourself, you do not know which path to follow. It becomes a guideline also for you in terms of your career achievement. So there are three terms which we come across in general, which are career planning, career development, and career management. Let us students now put some insight into career development, career planning, and career management. If generally try to explain this, career planning is when we try to make a path for ourselves, that this is where we are today and this is where we wish to move on. Career development is with the help of upgradation of certain skills, we will jump from one point to other in the career path that we have made. And career management is that we are appropriately in time-bound manner upgrading ourselves so that we can switch from one point to the other in a easy and graceful manner. So what is career planning? It says the key elements include one's own skills, interests, and values that we carry. We explore the available career opportunities within and outside the organization. We establish a short-term and long-term career goals for our career and design the action plans, that is, what trainings to be taken, what certifications to be done, how much networking, with whom we have to network, what job moves we should do so that we get a right kind of path for ourselves. So practical action plan is also made in this career planning. While in career development, formal training programs, workshops, and educations we go through. So if you are doing any, currently you are doing your graduation probably or post-graduation with your HR subject, so you can go for some specific HR analytics training where you learn different methodologies or how to operate on a dashboard or different languages like maybe you can learn Python, you can learn Tableau, etc. So that is the part of your career development. You want to reach from one point to other in the career, but you have to upgrade yourself and identify what are the areas needed today and in future times. So this leads to the workshops identification and education identification for career development. Also, this career development can be on the job learning with the help of job rotation. So in job rotation, what we do, we switch from one role to other for few months or couple of months, wherein we get first-hand information on how to perform in that arena. Then comes mentoring and coaching. So this mentoring and coaching also helps us in our career development. How the mentor is our guide, a senior who has a lot of experience, so can through his experience can help us tell what kind of formal training programs are required or how should we develop our acumen to reach to the higher levels. During coaching, we get hands-on experience on how to perform a job. So building new competencies for evolving roles is the need of the hour for career development. We have discussed already a lot on competency mapping in the previous sessions. During that, we discussed that the competency mapping model helps in training and development and performance appraisal. Career development is based on those two fundamentals of training and development and performance appraisal in the organization. the better training and development is given, or I should say the right training and development given to the employee, effective performance, right appraisal and growth in the organization. So new competencies are to be mapped on a regular basis. Then comes key elements of career management. So career management includes career centers, human resource information tools and succession planning. So what are human resource information tools? In every organization, there is an HRIS system. What is HRIS system? It deals with carrying the information, all information about an employee who's working. What kind of information? Apart from the demographics of the employee, here what roles he has performed, in what all organizations previously he has worked, what projects he has done, how many times the job rotation was done, in which area, which division, which department it was carried out, all information is given. And this is given so that at any point in time, if any vacancy occurs, the employee can be deputed at that place. So such systems help in managing the career of employee in the organization. Career management can also be done with the help of career counseling and guidance through various formal counselors in the organization. We have also dealt with post-appraisal counseling and mentoring session. During that, we discussed on roles of the counselors, which can be a directive counseling or indirective counseling. Career management can be achieved with the help of kind of promotion and transfer policies at the organization. So this is very much organizational focused policies. If organization has a regular policy of taking into consideration the promotion avenues for internal employees, then probably the career management can be done effectively. Then mentoring, coaching programs and support for retirement and exit planning also is an important aspect of career management. Now, key terminologies in career planning are career anchors. So, I started off my session by explaining career anchors to you. According to Stinch's concept, deeply held values and motivations, that is guiding career choices, these are called the career anchors. So, when we talk about deeply held values or motivations, they are the reasons why we choose a particular career. Example is that if you wish to have high amount of autonomy, security and technical expertise, so you may then think of a career which pertains to all the three categories of these things. You may wish to join an organization which has high job security, gives lot of decision making power and takes care of your technical acumen. Also, employees with the security anchor prefer stable jobs. So, those who have high security anchor will go for jobs which are stable, like we have high job security in the government sector. So, they may choose to work in a government sector or a public sector unit. Employees with entrepreneurial anchor, they seek to have risk-taking opportunities. So they are the ones who cannot sit at one particular place. They are exuberant, they are restless, they are high risk takers and they want to go into jobs which give them challenges and opportunities for new projects and innovations. Further, career planning also has a terminology that is called as career success, which is measured in two ways. One is the objective success and the second is the subjective success. Objective success is measured in terms of the job status that you have achieved, the salary growth one has achieved and the promotion you have reached up to. So if there were 4 promotions when you joined the organization which could be achieved by you and you have achieved out of 3 promotions, probably that is the job status and salary growth you have achieved. So it is objectively measured data. It can be measured. Salary growth can be measured, job status and promotion can be measured, that how much levels have you climbed up in the stair. While the subjective success is job satisfaction, fulfillment and personal growth, which are the intangible factors. But these intangible factors play very important role in getting retained in the organization or having a happiness factor with respect to your job. So here the importance is that these anchors and the success measures help explain why employees make different career choices. So I'm sure students, you have understood why somebody is an engineer, why the other person is a doctor, why someone chooses to become a banker, or somebody wants to join defense services like Army, Air Force or Navy, or why somebody is an administrative officer. It is because of their personal career anchor, which were their inherent values, that they chose those careers. And along with that, the measurement of objective and subjective career achievements, blend of both helps us to formulate the kind of career we have formulated in our life. Now, since we have talked a lot about career planning and the sub areas of career planning, it is now time to discuss something about what is the role career planning plays in an individual's life or in the organizational parameter. So first, the career planning aligns employees' goals and organizational needs in one pattern. And this alignment, if it is a best fit, it leads to what benefits? Talent management, talent retention, employee engagement, and organizational success. So these are so many benefits if career goal of an employee is aligned with the organizational goal. Second importance of career planning, it helps to identify the strengths, weakness and development area which any employee would like to undertake so as to have good career path for future. Third, it provides direction and motivation for employees' growth, that is, which area he or she has to move ahead based on his career anchor and his capabilities. Fourth, it reduces the employee turnover by increasing commitment and engagement of the employee. As we all wish to have and reach up in the ladder of the organizational positions, and if the organization is taking care of our positional needs, our job status needs, our salary increment needs, our job satisfaction needs, then we are highly contented. This high contentment will reduce eventually the employee turnover, because students, when an employee leaves the organization, it has many costs involved with it. Not only the direct cost but also the indirect cost. The direct cost of an employee leaving the organization is the amount of money spent in recruiting, selecting and training that employee goes in vain. And the amount of the indirect cost, that cost to the organization when an employee leaves the organization, is he carries a lot of tacit knowledge with him. And this information about the organization can be little harmful if he speaks that out. And the third is that he is already part of the organization functioning well. Now bringing a new person to that position, training him to that level and getting the similar kind of output from that individual, creating a level of commitment in the new individual will be a difficult task. So it is better to focus on career planning of individuals and enhance their engagement and commitment level in organization, thus reducing the employee turnover. Career planning also supports the succession planning by preparing talent pipelines for future leadership roles. So we know that very well that we need to have a talent pipeline for leadership roles, and this succession planning can be dealt with the help of career planning. Career planning also protects the individual from career plateaus and stagnation. So what is stagnation in career? When an employee is stuck at one particular position for a long number of years, though he deserves it, but he is not getting the next jump in his career. If career planning is focused by the organizational members, result is that the employee is more happy and remains in organization for longer duration. It increases then job satisfaction, matching by employees to role aligned with their value system and the interest. As career planning matches the role alignment with the value system of the individual and the interest they carry, thus they are highly satisfied with their job. It builds employability in a rapidly changing job market. Thus, career planning gives opportunity for people to take up positions, enhances employee retention, reduces hiring and training cost, It improves organizational effectiveness through better utilization of human capital. So you can see, students, there are lots and lots of benefits of focusing on career planning. So it is advisable that when you become a manager in organization, there are certain critical areas in HR which need to be focused on. If you focus on that critical area, this has a cascading effect on other areas as well. So career planning is amongst those critical areas in organization. Career planning leads to higher motivation. So when employees see their clear career paths, they feel motivated to perform better. And this career planning provides a purpose and direction, thus reducing the uncertainty for the future. Motivation increases because employees know that their efforts contribute to their personal growth as well as the organizational growth. So many benefits of having career planning. Career path is clear, direction and purpose is clear, and personal growth is also being achieved. So this is the win-win situation for organization and for employee in general. Both are getting benefited by the focus on career planning. Career planning is linked to employee commitment, so it builds a sense of loyalty and commitment. Commitment reduces job withdrawal behavior. What are job withdrawal behavior? Absenteeism, disengagement, and turnover. Career planning also helps in creating a psychological contract between the employee and the employer. Now, what is a psychological contract? A psychological contract is the contract between the employee and employer apart from the written contract, which is the job contract, where terms and conditions of employment are mentioned. But in the psychological contract, the employee is obliged by the employer that I am being taken care well by the employer, so I should remain in the organization. Also, it reduces absenteeism, disengagement, and turnover of the employees. There is an example which says that IBM's flexible career program enhanced employee commitment by showing that long-term growth is possible within the firm. Career planning supports long-term workforce stability. So this long-term workforce stability means that career planning aligns individual goal with organizational goal, ensuring both are benefited. Another important benefit is that it retains the high potential employee. Now, who was the high potential employee? The employee who has a capability tomorrow to transform and become a leader. If career planning is not done with such employees, they may leave for better opportunities outside the organization. The turnover cost like recruitment, training, and lost productivity cost is also reduced. Skilled employees are groomed. Example is that succession planning system ensures leadership stability when senior employees get retire. Let's have a look at steps in the career planning process. So the very first step is self-assessment. Now, self-assessment here talks about that you have to highlight on issues like who you are, what are your skill sets, what are your inherent values. Before you look up to the organization for proposing you with a job position, you yourself have to identify a position for which you are most suitable at given point in time and start working to get those opportunities to grab the jobs in those areas. So self-assessment involves skills and competencies. That is what I am good at. Am I good at software skills? Am I good at teaching skills? Am I good at accounting skills? It tells us the interest and value, what motivates me, what do I enjoy. Because if you do not enjoy your job, it is not going to be a long-term career for you. So what motivates you is another important aspect. Like someone who becomes a painter feels a sense of satisfaction and happiness when he paints. Someone who becomes a musician gets an inner peace when he develops a new music. So there has to be a motivation, and you should find the work which you enjoy the most. Then comes your personality and preferences. What type of work environment suits me? So you have to answer these questions before you decide on the kind of career you wish to go for tomorrow. Now, under the self-assessment, there are certain tools that can help you identify that. One of such tools is Holland's self-directed search. It matches the personality with the career, so you can think of getting that. There are online assessments also like ONET and Career Key, which helps you identify your aptitude and attitude for the job and thus suggests you the kind of job you are most suitable in. So the outcome of self-assessment is clearer understanding of strengths, weaknesses, and best fit for the career for yourself. Second is exploring the opportunities. So once you know that who you are and what interests are there in you, it is better to identify the career options that suit with or match with your value system or your interest areas or what motivates you. So the next step is to identify those career options. So someone who is, probably a sports person, wants to pursue a sports career, has to look for organizations which promote the players or which give options wherein you can be part of training and teaching the sports younger generations, etc. So exploring opportunity involves the information gathering on job roles and industries. It also helps in finding out occupational trends, that is growing versus declining job. Now this is very important, students. We know that many organizations do have changed their nature of working or the pattern of performance, and this is because of growth and decline in the job scenarios because of change. Like now AI intervention is coming up, so many job roles are going to be redundant, many roles will vanish. You know that with AI coming in, many roles of which were handled like query solving or reception jobs, they are being taken by the AI or the bots. So with this, few jobs are going to get erased from the scenario of job market. So based on the growing and declining jobs, we have to find out what is going to be a sustainable job for us. That is, we choose that career which remains as a career for long duration. It doesn't have a short life. We don't anticipate that this job will be closed or vanished soon. Then you have to also gather information on the kind of job you have identified, what education and skill is required to perform that job. Maybe you have certain specific educational qualifications with you, but that particular job needs some extra skill or some extra educational qualifications, so you should be careful in choosing that. And then finally you have to work upon your personal thought process, that to what extent that job has a work-life balance factor. If you choose a job which is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., probably you are not able to have a work-life balance. So that is also to be considered. Otherwise, today you may take up that job, but eventually it will be a frustrating experience for you. Despite you are earning a lot, but you may not be able to give time to family, give time to self. Hence, you will be losing your socialization. That will disturb your mental peace. Now, what are the methods by which you can explore the opportunities? The methods include using labor market data, career workshops and counseling sessions, and networking and informational interview sessions of the experts. By this, you can get to know the nitty-gritties of each job, because see, not all jobs are, but many jobs, or almost nearly 80% to 85% of jobs have their own nuances, have their own concerns and issues, which we cannot know until we dash into the job. So when we join the organization, we get to know, oh, I had a different perception about this work, but when I'm working, I have realized that no, this is not the kind of work I wanted to do. So in order to avoid that gap or mismatch between your perception and the actual working, it is better to do a due diligence before you dash into the job. And that can be done with the help of career workshops, with networking and informational interviews, and using labor market data. So the outcome of exploring opportunity will be awareness of career alternatives and their full potential that can be identified. Then you can set smart career goals for yourself. So based on the assessment opportunities, you can have a short-term or a long-term goals. These goals will help you have a clear career path for yourself. Action planning is something that converts goals into the concrete steps. So now you have to enroll in you have identified for yourself that this is the job role I want to do. For this job role, this is the training or the skill development I have to undertake, and this is the timeline that I have until I complete my training and grab the job opportunity or crack the interview for the job. So this is the concrete step of action planning. Here you enroll for a training or educational program. You gain experience through internship or projects. This will help give you first-hand information on how that industry works, the industry you want to work in, or how that job role is performed. Then build professional networks so that you get to know a lot of opportunities in the job roles you wish to do. Seek mentors and coaches also in the area which can give you right guidance. What is important to know, student, at this point in time is that the action plan should include a timeline and the resources needed, because it's not easy to get training in education in all the programs. It may need hefty amount of fees also. It may need good amount of time also to be spent to do that training program. So it has to be done very judiciously and wisely, the kind of training program you want to go with. And if you are choosing a mentor, you have to see his career path, his experiences, his job hopping scenario. So that means you have a foolproof action plan with you. So there are no gaps in that. So timeline, how much time would you need to complete all these things? And the resources needed should be clear. They should be doable rather. We should make some realistic targets with respect to timeline and resource needed. So outcome of action planning is that in the end, we have a roadmap for achieving both short-term and long-term career goals for us. Then we have tools and systems for career planning. What are the tools by which we can plan our career planning? This can be done with the help of career planning workshops. So what is the purpose? Here employees clarify the career goals. Activities may include, you can have a self-assessment of your current skills, where you stand today, what are your interests and values. Through various tests, psychometric tests, we can identify these. Information on the occupational trends and future demand, that can be gathered through the workshops. Setting realistic short and long-term goals will be outcome of understanding these workshops and developing specific action steps. So often conducted in group sessions and guided by facilitators, these career planning workshops prove a bane for those who are newly joining any organization. Then we have career centers which are facilitated and provided by the employer or the universities. In universities, we have corporate relations cells, what we call as CRC, and we have placement coordinators who work towards arrangement of a meeting between the prospective employees, that is the candidates, and the employers. Here the employers, prospective employers, they come to the university and they give the pre-placement talk. With this pre-placement talk, they talk in detail about the organization, its functioning, the role that has to be performed, and the career path that can be offered to the prospective candidates. So by this all career center information, and prospective employee or a student can get a good insight on what he wants to do. So what career centers offer? It gives the libraries database of career related material. It gives you information on different databases and libraries. It will help you do a self-assessment and test tools for finding your abilities. It may also arrange for career counselors on one-to-one guidance if you have some specific queries for yourself. So eventually it supports the employees in exploring the options and resources they have for their career development. Then career coaches are the professionals who provide the personalized career advices. So career coach is also an occupation. Even you can become a career coach tomorrow. So what does these career coach do? They identify the strength and weakness in the candidate. Based on that strength and weakness, they set the career direction and they help in overcoming the barriers and making the transition through the career. So the role of career coach is very important because they are the trained HR staff, or they can be the personal or private consultants which help us drive the right career choice for ourselves. What they can help us do with, we can also have online career planning programs We have web-based portals and tools for exploring career options, assessing the personal fit and jobs, and planning skill upgrades and training paths. Career planning also provides us interactive exercises and career roadmaps. So these are basically the benefits of having career centers. These career centers enable us to have these opportunities which become good tools to identify right career for ourselves. Lifelong learning budgets in the organizational setup for any employee includes that employer allocate funds for continuous employee development. This continuous employee development is so that he is suitable for promotion and new technologies, because the company may also be acquiring new technology, so they want their employees to be updated with that. So it has a twofold benefit, that it prepares the employee for promotion and prepares the employee for working in the new technological setup. Also, for the employee development, the fund which is allocated in the organization can be utilized. If you do some course from outside agency, you can apply for tuition reimbursement. With the help of this fund, you can do some online courses, workshops, or professional certifications. It encourages the employee to upgrade the skills and stay employable for a long time. So here the role of organization is that they have got a budget for employee development. Performance appraisal also is one of the tools for helping in career guidance, because with the help of performance appraisal, we identify the gap. By identifying the gap, we identify the right training to be done. So outcome of performance appraisal already dealt with in the performance appraisal chapter. It identifies the strength to build upon, what is lacking. It identifies the weaknesses that need to be developed, and it identifies the aspiration on career interest with respect to the individual. With threefold benefits of performance appraisal outcome, they are a great parameter to give guidance with respect to career. So it provides basis for career discussion between manager and the employee. With this discussion, the manager also gets to know that why my employee has got derailed a little bit and how I can help him come back to the normal track. In organizations, there can be specific career-oriented appraisals also, not only the performance appraisal. And these appraisals are designed to include the career goals for the individual members. So managers assess performance also, and they discuss the future career directions and the kind of training and development needed to take up that career role in future. So this is in addition to the performance appraisal already done. With the performance appraisal, we are only identifying the performance that the individual employee has carried out. But with the career-oriented appraisal, we are trying to discuss what careers the employee wants to take up. Thus, the manager is in a better position because the manager knows the performance appraisal outcome and manager knows the career goal of the employee. So here, manager can let the employee know properly that this is where you stand, this is where you wish to go, this is the bridge in between. Out of my experience, I can let you know that what all things to be done so that you can reach to the career that you wish to take up tomorrow. So it helps the employees to link the current performance and the future opportunities with the help of their organizational mentor. In career management system, HRIS, I have explained you earlier, which takes care of all information of all the employees. This is a computerized system which integrates career planning, succession planning, and talent management at the same time. How does HRIS mingles these three terminologies? Because HRIS has the information on what exactly you are capable of doing. So we know your talent, if you can be promoted as a successor, and what position tomorrow can be given to you under the career planning scenario. So this is how HRIS or the management system in organizations can help decide on these kind of decisions. It provides the databases for skill, interest, and career paths, and it enables to manager to match employees with the opportunity. Now, the technology integration in career planning is we have online portals for career management. It allows the employees to update the career profile, explore internal job postings, and access the online training resources. So what are internal job postings? On the web page or through various internal journals, board hoardings or magazines, the jobs are posted by the HR domain of the organization, and by that the organization members, the employees can get to know that what are the available opportunities for them, based on which they can assess themselves whether they are suitable to take up those roles or not. So this also helps create a transparent system of career mobility and growth. And students, wherever in organizations there is a transparent system of career growth and mobility, it creates a huge amount of trust in the mind of the new joinee or in the mind of the current employee. With this trust, they move forward and they take up. And along with that, if the next step, that is the transparent system of telling about the growth opportunities, and also choice, that is the recruitment and selection is also fair and transparent, that creates a good commitment in the mind of employee. Now, what are the different roles in career planning from different perspectives? So there are employees in organizations, employers in organizations. What are the role of each party pertaining to career planning in organization? So the primary responsibility of career planning lies with the employee, with the individual. So it is up to you how you plan your career, how you choose role judiciously. Actions that are included in career planning, they include identifying personal goals and ambitions, seeking learning growth opportunities, building networks and seeking feedback from your seniors and mentors, taking initiative for self-development. You join courses and training programs after seeing where you want to go. So the outcome is that ownership of one's own career journey is on the shoulders of the person concerned. So this is a big takeaway from today's session, students, that if you want to plan your career, rely on your own instincts. Work for yourself. Ownership is yours. The second role is by the employer in career planning. So organization provides supportive structure and resources for career planning. Here they can give you career centers and workshops. We have already discussed. They may give you the insight on different training programs and career continuous learning budgets. They can give you some support in terms of monetary benefit for paying the fee, etc. They may post internal job postings so that you get to know what all jobs are available, and transparent mobility system, that is transparent recruitment and selection. And they may give facilities like mentoring and coaching opportunities. So these are all facilitating conditions. Organization can give the facilitating conditions, but ultimate ownership lies on the employee. So outcome of employer's role is that it aligns employees' aspiration with organizational needs. This all organization will do so that the employee gets upgraded and remains with it for long duration. Then manager's role. So I hope students, you are in a position to distinguish between employer and manager. Here, manager is the one who is taking care of the administrative responsibilities of your division or department. And employer is the one who is into the board or leadership role, or who is the promoter of the organization, who is the leader in the organization. So leader's role was to provide with facilitating conditions. Now let us see what are the manager's role. Manager acts as a career guide and facilitator. He discusses career interests during the appraisal time to guide you further. He suggests the right kind of training and development options based on the interest you tell him during the appraisal. He provides growth assignments like job rotation or some new projects by which you can learn some new skills, and your abilities can be showcased at a broader level in organization, at higher level in organization. It offers constructive feedback and encouragement to the employee so that he is motivated to move ahead. Now, what is a constructive feedback? A constructive feedback is a feedback wherein we highlight any kind of gap in performance but without disturbing the personal emotions. So here we do not comment on the individual, rather we comment on the actions done by the individual. So if there was a critical incident that an employee did, which was a misdeed, so we are not supposed to hit or harm the emotion of that individual, rather we have to punish the action. So we have to highlight the action that the person did. That is called as constructive feedback. So this constructive feedback is offered by the manager in the organization. Now, what is the outcome of manager's role here? Employees feel supported in the career progress. And I am sure you students have now understood it very well. What is the importance of this term supported? If an employee feels supported, it straight away enhances commitment. Then what is the role of coaching in career planning? Coaching is the ongoing developmental process where manager or coach provides the guidance. So it can be on-the-job coaching also to perform a particular job. The manner in which it has to be performed, the behavior with which it has to be performed. So that is on-the-job coaching. That I'm sure you must have received calls sometimes from various agencies, and before you could move up to the operator, you heard a voice saying that this call may be recorded for internal quality assessment and training purposes. What does it mean? It means that once we hear our executive, how he is speaking with you, how he is handling the query or handling the grievance, after that we will assess this call and we will give coaching to our employee how to behave next time, what were the issues or concerns when he was talking with you. So this is the process which we call it as ongoing developmental process of manager and coaching in the organization. Focus of this here is to improve the performance, to enhance the skills and to align the goals with the career path. Here, more short-term and task-focused are compared to the mentoring process. Coaching is little bit different than mentoring. Now let's see mentoring, how it differs from coaching. Developmental relationship between senior and junior employee. So mentor provides career advice, networking opportunities and emotional support and encouragement. So these are more of psychological benefits that the process of mentoring gives, and thus helps in long-term and holistic development of an employee than coaching. Coaching is for short-term benefit, mentoring is for long-term benefit of the employee. So what are different effective coaching practices? We can go for active listening of the employee concerns, providing regular and constructive feedback, say achievable goals. We should encourage problem solving and self-reflection and maintain a trust and confidentiality. This is very critical. If you maintain this trust and confidentiality, then only the person will open up, who is your mentee, with the mentor to get the right guidance. Now, are there any gender issues in career planning? So, barriers faced by women and minorities in the career planning, like one of the concepts is glass ceiling, which is, we call it as invisible barrier to top management roles, where women are not given equal opportunity to take up top management roles. Limited access to mentorship and sponsorship, and work-family conflicts are certain, which is like dual career issues, which are the barriers faced by women and minorities. And it requires deliberate policies for equal opportunity at the career planning level by the organizations. Also, diversity and equal opportunity to be given to all groups in the society, and because what we want to have inclusive practices, we want to have across all diverse groups to be there in the organizational setup, and promotion and succession planning given to all diverse groups also. So the outcome here is stronger and more innovative workforce, because equal opportunity is given and inclusive environment is followed. there has to be a psychological contract in the career planning. That psychological contract is an unwritten expectation between the employee and the employer, where there is a good commitment between both the parties. So outcomes and benefits of career planning, my dear students, you know by now, it enhances confidence and motivation, develops the skill, helps in career growth, and high amount of job satisfaction can be achieved with the help of career planning. And finally, it leads to workforce stability, reduces turnover, leadership development takes place, continuity in operations is there, and positive work culture is the outcome of having a career planning approach. So this is all from my side for career planning concept, and I hope this concept is clear to you and various benefits pertaining to this concept, both at individual and at organizational level. You can see the references on the screen which I have referred to for this course. I would like to now close this session. I hope you all have enjoyed and learned a lot about the career planning concept. Thank you all.